I've been here for like 2 hours now since 9 a.m. trying to charge my phone, and since then I pressed the turn of the phone charger. So they accosted me. By the time I got to the Washington National Park, Washington Market Park today at Chambers and Greenwich Street, the Black American janitor that was attacked was waiting for me because my phone charge was only 1%. And as soon as I was trying to get out of the bathroom, she came in and tried to bump into me forcefully because it's like they're telling her, they're hacking into my phone and telling her the best time to attack me so I'm able to record it. And there was like an African guy standing like in standby. I don't know whether it was a false witness and didn't say nothing. And I told her, look, can you apologize? She tried to bump into the bathroom and she wouldn't apologize. And I said, you've been doing this for so long, you leave the bathroom dirty, you leave it stay with doo-doo for weeks and I don't wash the bathroom, and the flies come and eat up the doo-doo every day. I come there 7 a.m., 8 a.m., I see the doo-doo remnants still there, and the flies come and eat it up a little bit, and for weeks now. So, it's like she's working for the MTA torture program, because the MTA has a alleged top 50 list of people they want to, poor, homeless people, they want to abuse and stop from coming to the suburb, from coming back to the suburb, do any means necessary. They've already set me up in that suburb July 23, 2019, went and docked me in the psych ward, and the Nigerian embassy wouldn't help me. When I called down, and I told them my mother was killed, and they promised to help me, I reneged on the promise. So I don't know what kind of underhanded deal. Since she's working for this torture program, the MTA, because she's been attacking me like crazy. She's a Black American, and they used to attack me in the MTA, also deny me access to the bathroom. On July 23, 2019, I was trying to use the bathroom at the Prospect Park. I think it's called the Q line, the Prospect Park station on the Q line. And they had this Caribbean woman that they were used to harass me for weeks on end. And on July 20, 2019, she came into the bathroom and she left the heat on, the hand dryer on, turned the hot water on. It was so steamy, I couldn't see. It was so hot when I was using the bathroom. And I told her to turn up the hand dryer, and the hot water, and she said she's going to continue leaving on the hot water and the hand dryer because she's washing her underwear and she's drying it all at the same time. And she's been harassed. So I didn't even call the police that day because, they always send her to taunt me for weeks. And I thought they were trying to harm me that day because she left the room so steamy. And I'd already read in the newspaper that somebody was killed through heat exhaustion in the Bronx. So as soon as the scheme failed, anytime I read the newspaper, I see anything bad, it's like they're being supported by the surveillance from the FBI. Because anytime I read any bad news in the paper, they'll try to reenact the same attack. So they say this FBI has the CIA and FBI follow around terrorists around the world with satellite imagery, so they're able to, even if you're in a building, they have, all this radar, they can be able to capture whatever you're doing in the building. So anytime I get to read the paper, to try to stop me from reading, they will reenact whatever horror, I read in the paper. Like this morning, like last night, I was reading about a guy named Ngo, Ngo, in Phoenix somewhere. He was a Vietnamese American, and he was beaten up by some Americans because he was a conservative and anti-fascist. And he said he couldn't get justice because of his ethnicity or whatever, because of his view as a conservative, was beaten up, and the case was dismissed in Phoenix, Arizona, the civil court case. So I was reading about that, and I went to 86th and 5th Avenue. All of a sudden, they were sending these people that look like U.S. soldiers, because 86th Street, 5th Avenue, where I was sitting at this morning, was close to the U.S. Army base. So these guys came, like, they were wearing similar clothing, so I'm thinking they work for the same organization, possibly the U.S. Army. And they started shadow boxing around me. And like an hour later, a fight broke out. They were punching a female. They were punching attacking the male. And they were calling the female a faggot. She was saying, I'm a real woman. And they were using the word faggot and all that. Like they were trying to provoke me to join the altercation. I said, the day they killed Regina Ross, a fight broke out. And I was trying to stop the fight. The police came and choked them to death. And came was an accident. I don't know their reason for trying to provoke me all the time. So I left there around 5 a.m., then I finally got here at 8 a.m. to use the bathroom. And my phone battery died because I was recording all that violence. So my phone is not charging, and they turned off my phone charger, so I can't call 911. So this Black American female attacked me, Because I've been trying to charge my phone here, and the phone is not charging, and they turned it off today. So they don't want to be able to call 911. So as I went to use the bathroom around 8 a.m., as I was leaving the train station, I left the 2 train to come, as I was leaving, some Spanish were in front of the Chambers Street 2 train, and they were laughing, ha 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 ha, as I started to go to the bathroom. And and I was in the bathroom, I didn't see her when I got to the Washington Market Park, Chambers and Greenwich. I didn't see her, but she left a garbage bin next to the bathroom. So as I was in the bathroom, she started moving that garbage bin around, brr, 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 and she was shouting. And for some reason, she was shouting Jordan, whatever Jordan, I don't know what she was talking about. So, and as soon as I got out of the store, and she came and barraged into, like she was trying to, like she was trying to bump into me. I had my bag, in front of the sink. I was close to, so I had to quickly move away from her, and she barraged into me like she was actually very threatening. By then, my phone battery was like 1% left. And I tried to turn it on to record her, but the phone battery died. They could do a forensic of my phone. As soon as the phone turned on, it was trying to open the operating software, and it shut down immediately. But this African guy just kept quiet, and he came to get the tennis bats from her. And it was similar. It appeared to be African, and I was so shocked because I said, "Why are you a black American harassing me every day in the bathroom? You leave the bathroom dirty." And this African guy didn't even say nothing, just got a tennis racket from her. I stood there, like it was motionless. Wherever, I don't know what is that supposed to mean, but I know, they hacked into my phone, and it's like the MTA torture program, working with the CIA torture program, because even the FBI stole evidence from me. Because when I had an immigration case, my mother wrote in my childhood Bible that she was choked and strangulated by somebody in Nigeria who was a family member. And so my mother couldn't leave me with that person. She brought me to America. So and she paid a lawyer, and the lawyer wouldn't submit any evidence to support my asylum claim. So after they denied my asylum claim and ordered me deported, I mailed all my documents, that notation my mother wrote to my childhood Bible. I mailed the entire Bible to the INS, including that notation in which my mother wrote that she was strangled on the day when me and her were in Nigeria living with a family member. So I told the INS, look, take a look at my childhood Bible. In the 1990s, my mother wrote in there. They could have done it for them to do a forensic analysis of my childhood Bible. Because my lawyer didn't submit any evidence to the court, and the court told him to, he needs to submit evidence of my asylum claim, and the court gave him enough time. I didn't show up in court no more. So the judge had to deny my asylum claim. So I was trying to get the INS to help me reopen my case, so I sent my childhood Bible to them. And the INS took my childhood Bible with the strangulation notation my mother wrote in there, and stole all those documents from me, and pretend like they didn't get nothing from me. So my mother got Hillary Clinton, Senator Hillary Clinton, to write the INS at the letter Hillary Clinton. The INS wrote to Senator Hillary Clinton. I think she was senator by that time, senator from New York, that they didn't get nothing from me. The INS also lied to the John Lavelle, the New York Assemblyman. They said they didn't get nothing from me. Then years later, they returned all the documents I sent on that day with notation that they received it, with the envelope stamp receipt, but they don't have the childhood Bible. So they stole that childhood Bible from me. I believe, they must have kept it with the FBI or something. So I'm saying, years later, my mother's daughters were talking with that person that was trying to strangle my mother in Nigeria. My mother's daughters were talking with that person. So my mother said she didn't trust her daughters, to the extent when she was staying a little bit in Pittsburgh and she was feeling real sick. She told me she got on the ground to come to New York to come to the hospital, because she didn't trust her daughters. She didn't want to be near them to go to the hospital, because she didn't want them to sabotage our treatment, because she was having this heart problem. And she said when she got to New York, and she told her daughter she's sick in the hospital in New York, but she doesn't know the name of the hospital. I said she was surprised when her daughter came from the prison and came to the hospital. And she was like, she was suspicious that they might be, because one of my mother's daughters was married to a U.S. military person. So she's surprised. So she thinks, they might have people giving them insider information about her. My phone was being hacked or what's And then they were harassing my mother in the hospital, that whatever she doesn't want to do, she has to do it. So because I put in the lawsuit against the NYPD that my mother got a heart attack, or suffering a heart attack symptom when the NYPD was trying to vacated us by force, illegally evicted us from our home, and said we had to leave within 5 minutes, otherwise they're going to put us in prison or in the cycle. And that got my mother scared. That they were trying to put us in prison and cycle if we don't leave our home within 5 minutes. And she started to have symptoms of a heart attack, and I had to bring the EMT. So I put that in my childhood. I put that in my complaint I filed in 2013 against the NYPD. So I guess I just read that. So by 2 years later, 2015, when they found out she was sick, they came to the hospital and they said, the hospital should force her to do surgery or she should put in a cycle. And my mother said that surgery is a controversial surgery, it's a stent operation, and it's not recommended for old people because it's an elective surgery. And another thing, she didn't like the fact that our doctors were trying to dictate what she didn't want to her because she didn't really trust them because they were, in cahoots or whatever. She felt they were also calling somebody in Nigeria that was trying to strangle my mother. So she didn't trust them. Because of that reason, my mother didn't go for medical treatment in Pittsburgh. She came to New York to get medical treatment. So she were acting in a very provocative way, like they were trying to cause disruption and cause her, to harass her, feign mental illness on her. They said that they went and, went behind her back to the hospital to put her in a cycle. I believe that they were just trying to provoke her to have a heart attack. And as soon as the hospital said that they were trying to force my mother into cycle, my mother died. And her daughters went and took her property at the keeper storage of Staten Island. That's my mother's storage. And I was, and against my will, even my property at the storage, they took it. Even though they said my mother died without a will, and they took everything. Stole her bag and everything, a handbag and everything. And they did that. No lawyer in America would help me. The police wouldn't help me prosecute them. So since my mother and I had been taking the NYPD to court, filing 311 complaints against them, it's like the city's police always gets in cahoots with FBI and CIA to attack people. It's fighting for civil rights, whether it's Martin Luther King, that's alleged. It was discovered years later when they filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government that the FBI and CIA killed Martin Luther King, used a civilian to kill him because he was fighting for civil rights. And also Malcolm X, that the FBI and NYPD killed Malcolm X, has been alleged in court papers now. So I believe that's a cahoots on this. You're using all kind of violence against me, and the Nigerian government refused to help me. So it's like, if you can just harm this person, but the MTA also uses this black American female. I believe, she's working with these people because, because as I was leaving the train station today, especially I was laughing. I used to get attacked severely in Chambers Street station. I used to call 911. They would send people like civilian thugs to attack me. When Trump was president before 2019, I used to call 911. Sometimes they would send people to attack me, say they don't want me to use the female bathroom, and throw my belongings in the train track, and I'll call the police won't help me. So this black American female is acting the same way I used to get attacked in this area when Trump was president before 2019. And all over this area, they attack me at the World Trade Center, Pier 25. So the same people, I believe, they are instigating the attacks against me. And then they went and locked up the bathrooms for 3 years. Now I don't even know the schedule of the bathroom. They said they're going to open it, but locking it up early around 7 p.m. And a lot of times when I try to use it now, the bathroom is locked all day. So now they see that my phone battery is not charging well. They're turning off the phone charger, so I'm able to charge the phone properly, and so I'm able to call 911. And the city side, they normally lynch the black Americans. Jim Crow. They will just make you look like you're crazy, and the police will come and kill you in self-defense. So they're making sure I can't call 911, so I won't have anything established with the 911 system. So to be their words only, I won't have any evidence. Also, the Pier 25, I went there some days ago after they stole my belongings. I changed to the chair on Harrison and Greenwich. And as soon as that same day they stole my belongings in the morning, I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I go to the bathroom, a white kid, I could hear say more. They were all laughing at her, and before I knew it, they started banging on the door of the bathroom. Because the police, like the park ranger, they didn't even say who they were. They said, I said, well, what's the problem? They said broken glass. They said, I was like, broken glass? No, since there's no broken glass, so I came out as black American gentleman was standing at the bathroom, waiting in his car. I'm like, what is going on? I'm being harassed. The kid was screaming more and more. I said, I just got robbed early in the morning. They stole all my belongings, my shoes, extra shoes I had. I had a jacket, extra clothing. I just got in, I had the suitcases. I chained it up. I did a recording before they stole it. So they tried to blame me on sanitary, tried to make me feel mental illness or make it so that's the only way you can kill a black person, by claiming they're crazy. So they're telling these people this MTA torture program, they said it's torture program, because there's another black male that killed Elijah McClain in Colorado in 2019. They said they feigned mental illness on him, and the police choked him down, got him put to the psych ward, and they injected him with ketamine, with overdose, and he had a heart attack. And the police got away with it. As if they can feign mental illness on you, and it looked like an accidental killing. So the police was just trying to subdue. So they're provoking me all night long. They have people punching around me, calling, using the word faggot. Early this morning, around 3 a.m., I was recording, so my phone battery died at 86th and 5th Avenue. So this black American female jet, I think she's working for them. So they're trying to block from able to call 911. I think I mentioned to her I was going to call 911. By the time I go here, they turned the phone off. So to investigate this MTA and this link server, because they know when my phone batteries died, I would always use this phone to call 911. I always use, this phone kiosk to call 911. So they turned my phone kiosk off, the photo kiosk off. There was another day like that, they were tracking me everywhere. So I tried to use the phone kiosk on Broadway in front of the 26 Federal Plaza, and this guy looked like he might be undercover Spanish guy, undercover FBI. He came next to me, charged his own phone, and my phone battery now stopped charging at all because it was charging very slowly. It's like they've been hacking into my phone through the unlawful surveillance of me from the FBI, and he started grabbing his penis. I could see his penis protruding, and it was coming near me, showing me his penis, was touching his penis, protruding, and the INS cameras, I think they call them DHS, USCIS now, we were recording it. This happened a few days ago. So my phone battery couldn't charge anymore. So I went and bought a new phone charger thinking it would help, but all the phone carriers, they're sabotaging with the FBI, especially since I said, they're hiding evidence like the strangulation, the strangulation note of my mother being strangulated, and she wrote to my childhood Bible. The INS stole that Bible from me, and I believe my book with the FBI or with the INS. I need to charge these people for stealing evidence that could have helped me get justice, because my mother spent a lot of money on lawyers after that, and my case wasn't successful because the INS stole evidence from us, and all that money my mother was spending while the INS was sabotaging my case and wouldn't help me get justice, and supporting the white lawyer that took my mother's money and ran away. All that money could have been used by my mother to buy a house, because she was trying to clean up her credit so she could escape from my daughters, so her daughter wouldn't have access to her, because she was very suspicious of my daughters that they could be talking to somebody in Nigeria that they were aware of was trying to strangle my mother. So they was calling that person in Nigeria from America. So my mother wanted to buy a house even before the police evicted us from the place we were renting. So she'll be safe in her house. And she said she wasn't going to let her daughters know what house she bought, and she wasn't going to let them in if they came knocking on the door. She was going to have a security lock and call the police. She said they were very dangerous. They were acting very dangerous towards her. So this INS, by helping derail my court case, and my mother spent money on different lawyers after that, and they were stealing evidence. So they should be charged with murder of my mother and attempted murder of me, because, they were trying to forcefully deport me and by stealing my evidence. And I've been in a very dangerous position because I was being abused by that person in Nigeria. Also, I put out all that in my asylum claim, but my lawyer sabotaged my case. He didn't submit any evidence. So they need to try, so the FBI, I think, are working to protect these white lives, and they're working with this MTA. They see them terrorizing me, and they might even be the one instigating the MTA. So it starts a campaign to harm as many homeless as possible. So they deny homeless like access to bathroom, and they get this black American to harm me, make me angry, or make me go crazy. And she was even using the B word today, and this African guy said he wants a racket. He wants a racket, and he was giving her, giving him a racket, and he didn't say a word. He was so motionless, and I was accusing the black American woman that you always attack me every time, and she was trying to provoke me for that. My phone battery was right there, and they're turning all the phone off so I can make 911. So I need the world to help. If anything happens to me, the FBI, CIA are behind it, and then the Nigerian government, I think they hope to profit, because if they can kill you and they can get the US government or the NYC government to pay you money, they hope to have the money moved to Nigeria. So if I should get harmed or anything bad should happen to me, only an international human rights organization that hasn't denied me help in the past should take over my case. No family member should take over my case. And my life is not safe outside of America, even if I should get injured and I'm not killed. And if I should get killed, my body should be cremated, and my body parts should be given to anybody for procreation purposes. I don't have any children, and any money, any assets I have should be used to get justice for me and my late mother by international human rights organization that's not denying me help in the past. And any extra assets should be given to help people that suffer xenophobia like me, and I haven't denied me help in the past. So only an international human rights organization prominent, should be able to should help me in case I get killed. This is my right of sepulcher, and also my right to contract under Section 1981. So this is what's going on. So the FBI and their civilian thugs and the Nigerian government, they need to help me. I believe they're all being in cahoots with some secret alliance to deny me justice and to try to get me harmed and get the money moved to Nigeria by finding somebody to deputize for me and claim I'm harmed. I can't represent myself for my rights anymore. So if any harm happened to me, I'm not safe in any country apart from the United States. Only an international human rights organization that it hasn't denied me help in the past as handled prominent international human rights cases should take over control and cost. If I'm harmed, I can't function anymore. Should take custody and here in the United States and make sure my rights is protected, and no family member or friend should be able to have access to my body or my body parts for procreation or any other purposes, whether I'm dead or alive, and I should be criminal if I'm killed. So they need to be prosecuted. They denied my access to the bathroom, tried to render me a sanctuary. They stole my extra shoes. Somebody was giving me shoes. They went and robbed me of my shoes. I got extra clothing recently. They stole everything. I put it in a suitcase. So they always watch me. I bought shampoo, soap. So they always notice when I buy shampoo and soap like that, I always go take a shower in New Jersey. So I did a recording of the shampoo and soap I bought, and soon after that they were attacking me like crazy. The black Americans had to turn off the tap water at the Washington Market Park. So they were just doing that to provoke me, hoping I would get angry and they can just feel mental illness on me. So I was using the bathroom, I couldn't wash my hands, so I had to be buying bottled water to wash my hands. I was using the soap I bought to wash my hands, and then the extra clothing I had, they're stolen it. I was feeling so fatigued also. I would have gone to New Jersey. I was feeling so fatigued because I wanted to take all my clothing to New Jersey, and I had my wheeler was damaged. That's why I changed it to the chair on Harrison and Greenwich. And I was trying to get a new wheeler because I wanted to take all my belongings to Jersey so I could wash all my clothing. Some of the clothing I just got, I want to wash them before wearing them also. I do that a lot of times, and so I want to take all of my stuff to Jersey to do the washing, but I was feeling so tired. I don't even know what's going on with the sauce with the food I'm eating. I'm just feeling so fatigued. So I was trying to get a wheeler, because the wheeler I had the tires was down. That's why I changed it to the sidewalk. So they're dispossessing me of my property, clothing, shoes, and and they're trying to get me to sell my pants.